let's move on to main topic number 1. And our first main topic today gets submitted to us by Logan Lay, who writes, "Hey, John. Godzilla King versus King Kong is gearing up to come out, and with the movie must come merchandise. And with that merchandise must come spoilers. These spoilers being Mechagodzilla is in GVK. I'm not quite sure what that is. I think that's I'm assuming that's a toy convention of some sort.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Godzilla is in Godzilla versus Kong. Is this a good move, or is this too unrealistic and it should just be Godzilla versus Kong? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, what happens quite often, look, in the toy industry, toys have to go into development over a year before a movie comes out, all right? So, because it takes them a long time to develop and go through the process and all that kind of stuff, and it's like a year. And then, if you want these toys on shelves, you got to start showing these toys to the distributors, to the retailers, to all that kind of stuff. You got to show off these toys to those people well in advance if they're going to have it ready to be delivered and on shelves for when the movie comes out. One of the reasons why people, a lot of people were complaining, Rob, that there wasn't any Baby Yoda. A lot of people were complaining there wasn't any Baby Yoda merchandising available when The Mandalorian came out because they wanted to really make sure they didn't have any toy ready because they didn't want there to be any spoilers about Baby Yoda, which is completely understandable. So apparently what has happened here is that at some kind of toy fair or toy convention, they're showing off some toys. Of course, there on the right, you see Godzilla. In the middle, you see King Kong. And on the left, in a very blurry, foggy looking picture, you get Mechagodzilla. Does this 100% mean that Mechagodzilla is in fact going to be a part of a Godzilla versus Kong? Actually, the answer to that question is no. It's not saying that he's not going to be in it, but I'm saying there being a toy there right now does not in and of itself 100% confirm and guarantee that's going to be in the movie. We've actually seen some other toy lines with leaks of toys that weren't necessarily associated with the movie. They were just kind of accent figures and things to go along with it. So is this 100% mean Mechagodzilla is going to be in the movie? No. I think it's likely, but no. The other thing I want to say is this. Is a lot of people are calling this a spoiler, Rob. They're calling this a spoiler. And I disagree with that. And here's why I disagree. The reason I do not believe that this getting leaked out is a spoiler is because, I'm sorry, there's no way under heaven that Mechagodzilla is going to be in this movie if he is. There's no way Mechagodzilla is going to be in this movie and he's not going to be in the trailers at some point. I mean, that's just ridiculous. The last Godzilla King of the Monsters, every single one of the other Titans and all the kaiju, they were all fully on display because it sells the movie. If Mechagodzilla is indeed in this movie, Rob, I 100% know that he's going to be in the trailers. They're going to have Mechagodzilla in the trailer. So I don't consider this toy leak, although I would understand why they don't want that information getting out yet. But it came out. Okay. Not a big deal because it's not a spoiler. It's not something they were going to hide till the movie came out anyway. Rob, you had, first of all, number one, do you think Mechagodzilla is going to be in this film? And number two, do you think that if he is, that this constitutes a spoiler?
First of all, as a lifelong kaiju fan, by the way, that picture you showed looks like King Kong is reffing the MMA fight that's about to go down between Mechagodzilla and Godzilla. But I have to say, for me, as a lifelong kaiju fan, you say the word Mechagodzilla, and I get all warm and tingly in all the best places. Because, man, I love Mechagodzilla all the way back to, 1975's Terror of Mechagodzilla. Why not bring in Mechagodzilla? Mechagodzilla is like a mainstay. It's a staple of Godzilla, of all the different eras of Godzilla. I can't wait to see this. I love that. I don't actually like the design that I'm seeing from this picture, but I'm hoping Mechagodzilla.
It's hard to say being in such a blurry picture.
It is. So I won't speak to that yet because Mechagodzilla has always been awesome, dude. Who doesn't love Mechagodzilla? And you're right. Is it a spoiler? Hell no. You think they're not going to show Mechagodzilla in in the trailers. Like you said, people are going to see these movies to watch monsters just get down and dirty. I maintain I loved Godzilla King of the Monsters. I had so much fun with that movie. It really embraced the spirit of what the Godzilla franchise has been, especially when it left the more serious elements behind and went full-on sci-fi fantasy craziness. And why shouldn't this? I loved Kong Skull Island. I really did. And I thought it was exactly what I expected. I thought tonally it did a really good job of doing what it was supposed to do. It's very funny because I thought the first Godzilla film was a little too serious. Like they took this we're going to only shoot Godzilla from street level. And, it's like, come on, man. I mean, a lot of it worked, but they kept cutting away. It's like, dude, if you're making a Godzilla movie, I want to see Godzilla fight. I want to see him getting thrown through buildings. I want to see people die en masse. I want to see airplanes get swatted out of the sky. I want to see maser cannons. I want to see gigantic monsters wrecking urban areas. And when you tell me that Mechagodzilla is going to show up, that means I'm getting the technology buzz I want. I get the super science. I get, clearly there's an organ. The Monarch has stepped up its game. I'm excited, John. I'm excited. It's not a spoiler. What it does for me is it's like, once again, my 8-year-old child gets to snort a mountain of sugar and go on a sugar high waiting for this movie to come out. It was already delayed once. I can't wait to see it. I want to see trailers. I want to see them now.
Well, okay, so let me ask you this, though. Let me put this to you. Do you think that Mechagodzilla is going to be in this movie? Because like I said, we've seen toy leaks before from time to time where a toy leak didn't actually end up being in the movie. Do you think Mechagodzilla is actually going to be in this movie? Because I don't think either of us were expecting it before this. So now that you've seen this, do you think he's actually going to be in the movie?
Yes. Because
really?
I think like Mike Dougherty was the perfect director, I thought, for Godzilla King of the Monsters, because he grew up a Godzilla fan, and our new director, it's Adam Wingard, right? He's also a fan. So you can't not. I mean, once you've got King of the Monsters and you've shown us Mothra, you've shown us Ghidorah, you've shown us Rodan, where do you go from there? I mean, unless you're going to bring in Space Godzilla or Minya, Baby Godzilla, or Gigan, which they're not going to do, or Jet Jaguar, or Megalon, or the Smog Monster, you've got to bring in Mechagodzilla. And Mechagodzilla is something that I think audiences will dig, because it's easier to buy into that, and I love the idea of Mechagodzilla being in this movie. And yes, I do think Mechagodzilla is going to show up in this movie, but it'll probably be a jobber.
Yeah, probably. Unless he's the new King Ghidorah. Look, we've known for a long time that this Godzilla versus Kong movie is probably going to be a Batman versus Superman thing, where the two fight, and then there's the greater threat, and then the two of them got to team up to go and take on the greater threat. Like, we're all assuming that, right? Like, we all think that's probably going to be the case here. Maybe Mechagodzilla is their version of Doomsday. Maybe Mechagodzilla is such a huge threat that it's going to take the combined power of Kong and Godzilla to fight him. Or do you think it could go another way?
Well, you know what? The only way this movie could look better to me is if the aliens from Planet X that were introduced in Godzilla versus Monster Zero show up and they've brought Mechagodzilla to Earth. Take over.
Okay.
If there are aliens in this movie, John, that's the only way it could be. I could even be more excited.
All right. Well, the question here is, guys, what do you think about this? Number one, do you think Mechagodzilla is going to be in it? Number two, do you like the idea of Mechagodzilla being in it? And number three, do you consider this picture leak an actual spoiler, or do you feel like I do that this is going to be in the trailers anyway, so it's not really a spoiler? But how do you guys feel about it? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right.